Oh, it doesn't have the thing. Hold on, give me a second. Give me.
We have to wait for people to find us because I told them.
Yeah, there's no one.
Told them to look for the new one. This YouTube thing is getting annoying. Hello, buddy. Thanks for finding us.
Oh, I was just gonna say first. I'm not first anymore.
You're not first. Buddy is always first wherever he goes.
My buddy's here. Also, Tavo.
Hello, Tavo.
And Barracuda.
Hey, Barry. Appreciate you guys finding us.
I press like this.
How is it in the?
Huh?
It needs to be a little bit more centered, like that. Come on, catch up with us. Hello, Buff. Yes, the new one. We get it all set up, and I put it in the computer and everything like you do, and then we push go live, and it says, "Sorry, you can't join the stream. We can't join our own lives." So.
Yeah. Chris Free Messer is here.
Yeah, that's Chris. That's Driveway. Driveway's and Misfits. So we have the. On the other one. On the other one, I think we had names, but I guess we have handles on this one. Yes, Chris, it's a Beetle. What else would you expect from me? And it's a 2000 model. Does it look like a 2000 model? Hi, Bruce. Well, thanks for joining us. Welcome. Can you get your screen lighter?
Lighter? I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, my old eyes are failing, so.
Chris says it looks like it needs to be in my driveway.
That can be arranged, but there's a whole lot of Beetles here, Chris. If you want to have a caravan, if you want to come down with like 5 of your friends, and we'll do like 6 cars at one time, and you can have a Beetle caravan all the way to your driveway, and you can sell them over there in New York.
That was saying YouTube is getting more brokener by the day.
Yeah, but it does it to us every week, and then sometimes it'll work. So I don't know what the issue is.
Yeah. No, I can't be the phone because my phone doesn't work either. My phone is newer. Chris says that would require me to have 5 friends. Aww.
I know the feeling.
Hi, Dean. Dean is here. Butter Campos says slowly handles are coming. John Wilburn wasn't happy about it last night.
Yeah, I saw that. Welcome, Dean.
Grease Belly Garage says, "Did I make it in this time in time?"
Yes, you made it in time, and you get to see all the wonderful Mexican cars that I have. And when it gets to the special one, Mrs. Spec, I want you to stop. Stop it going so I can tell the story about that car, if we're even paying attention to what's on the screen. This is not a Nissan Sentra. This is a Nissan Suru. It was sold until 2017 in Mexico. They finally gave up on it, and they brought out the Nissan March to take its place.
Bob the Campos says, "Look at that Chevy truck behind the Beetle." Kevin Smith is here.
Hi, Kevin. How's the warden doing?
Dean says, "Hola, Mr. and Mrs. Mexican Spec." Grace Belly says, "Excellent."
No, but they wouldn't accept that plate in the U.S., would they? You can't even read what it is.
No. Can I paint it?
I could order another one to replace it.
Am I allowed to paint my plates?
No.
But I could put stickers on it.
No, you're not allowed to do anything.
Well, what about in Guadalajara? They put stickers on it.
Not anymore, they don't. They don't care. They don't really care over there.
Dean says anything named after the hot chick in Star Trek 1 is going to be a hot car. Mexican spec.
What car was named after her?
Central?
Your Sentra was a lemon, Kevin? What year was your Sentra?
Suru?
Chris, this Sentra was sold in the U.S. from 91 to 94. The 95, it got rounder like a little jelly bean. But they sold this from 93, I think, in Mexico to 2017.
Chris says, kind of reminds me of the 80s Sentra.
The 80s Sentra was very round, very, very square. It was very squared off. But these are still cheap. Unfortunately, they have absolutely no safety in them at all.
Glenn Nickerson is here.
Welcome, Glenn. Thank you for coming.
It says I got here somehow, some way.
So did we, Glenn. We had to start a new one.
Dean says Uhura, the one from Hawaii. Uhura?
Uhura was in Star Trek.
Kevin Smith says my Sentra was a 94 and a half.
So was that the new body style? Or was it this one?
Chris says to Dean, do you mean Uhura? I don't know how you pronounce it, sorry.
I don't know.
Gris Belly says, did they have an SCR version of this?
They had the bigger engine in them. And what were they called? GSR, I think. Something like GSR.
Tabo says, no Sentra down here. It looks like very vaguely like what we call the Pulsar.
They could have renamed it that there. But I'm sure they didn't sell it for as long as they did in Mexico.
Dean says, Uhura. And Grace Valley says SER.
Yeah, the SER. There's a few of those around, but it's almost impossible to find one that hasn't been messed with. A kid will get it, and it just, well, everybody here knows what they do with them. But to find an original, nice condition and everything is almost impossible.
Barracuda was the real hot chick, wasn't lost in space. Dean says, yeah, Uhura.
I know who you're talking about, Barry, and we will agree to disagree on that. Her name was Angela Cartwright. Or her name is Angela Cartwright.
Kevin Smith says, I called my Sentra a four-man's BMW.
That's what I called my Renault Alliance convertible. A very poor man's BMW. I'd rather have the Alliance over the BMW, though. Because later on, I bought a BMW, and I was absolutely not impressed with it. The convertible and everything, I was not impressed with that car at all.
Chris says to Dean, you talking about the first Star Trek movie? And Dean says, it was before 1979. Kevin Smith says, probably as bad as a BMW.
I had good luck with my Alliance. It was slow. Unfortunately, I had to, going from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, you had to go up that grade to get over to the top and go back down the other side. I think I had to downshift into third gear to get up that grade in that car.
Josh Homan is here. It says, good to be here.
Hi, Josh. Welcome.
Chris says to Dean, the first Star Trek movie came out in 1979. Barracuda says, no, the blonde one.
The mother?
I don't know what you guys are talking about, but okay. Glenn says, I would take reliability over safety any day. Safety is up to the driver. My hot rod was no seat belts and the seat isn't bolted down. Sits flat on the floor.
Yeah, well, Glenn, it only doesn't only depend on your driving. It depends on every other idiot on the road too.
Yeah.
And people are running stop signs and running red lights, and people just don't care. They trust that their car is safe, so they don't care what they do anymore. I don't think cars should be as safe as they are.
Kevin says B O-ring, M middle, C class winner. B and C? I don't know. Dean says Nissan Tsuru, Japanese for crane, because if it breaks down, that's what you need.
They were dependable cars. You can get a couple hundred, 300,000-400,000 miles, kilometers out of them, but just don't hit anybody in it.
Josh says, and yes, I have heard of Angela Cartwright. That says Barry means the older sister, June.
There was an older sister?
It's a question mark, so I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look that up later.
That's why we need a tablet, so it's something extra to.
Yeah, because we need more devices on our laps.
Yes. Dean says.
And we have a tablet.
The made for TV series, CF. Chris. Chris says, give everybody a piano wire seatbelt. Watch them drive a whole lot more carefully.
Some of them would. The younger ones probably wouldn't because they wouldn't understand how it works anyway. But
Kevin says, danger, Will Robinson.
Mm-hmm. That was the family name.
I know.
Lost in Space.
I know. I've seen the remake, the reboot, or whatever it's called.
The movie.
Is it a movie or is it a show? Wasn't a show?
Yeah, it was a show on Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
I lost interest in it. I like camp.
Tabo says no, Judy.
I'm gonna have to look her up. I don't remember her name.
Barry says her real name is Krista someone.
That doesn't ring a bell, but Marta Kristen? Marta?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't ring a bell to me.
Kevin says just take their iPhones away while driving. Tabo says Marta Kristen.
You can do that, but it's got a huge iPhone in the middle of in the center console of the car.
You can't play Flappy Bird on that.
They're going to be playing with that.
You can't play Flappy Bird.
No, but they're still going to be playing with it while they're driving. Looking for this, changing that.
Dean says, Kevin Ferrari. I saw a guy who was blacksmith. Blacksmith as in blacksmith or as in one word? What do you call that in Italy? Barcola says that's the one, Tabo. So, Marta Christian. Kevin says, a boring Smith Dino.
Dino.
Is that what you call it?
Black is boring?
Kevin says, playing with it while driving. Lol. Mm-hmm. Children. Grace Bailey says, bring back the Pioneer Super Tuner.
Boy, these new cars sure did put stereo places out of business.
Yeah.
Everything's built into the car. You really can't change anything. Zacatecas.
Kevin says, not safe either. Dr. Campos says, what car is that?
That is a Rover 75 Buff. It wasn't sold in the U.S. and very few of them were sold here. But of course, it's got a timing belt engine. And I was contacted by a guy in the U.S. He found one in Chihuahua and wanted me to deliver it, but there's no transport companies from there. So I said I would have to drive it to the border. And he says, well, the owner says the timing belt hasn't been changed in all this time, so you can't do that. So we're just going to forget about it. So, well, nothing I can do about it.
Dr. Campos says, Rover?
Yeah, Rover.
Tabo says, I like my AM push button radio.
But there's nothing on AM anymore. I mean, there's a lot of stations here, but nothing I want to listen to.
Fair. Tabo says, yes, Rover, 75. Plentiful down here. And they even have the steering on the correct side here.
So you mean it's on the left? No, I do like the interior of the Rover. The interior was really nice, really plush. But, I mean, over there in the U.S., you can get a Jaguar that was made by Ford with the same kind of thing in it for cheap. So, is this another one?
Dean says, screw it, Barry. Let's go to the capital of Iceland.
Rebecca.
I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry.
The Olympics were there. The Winter Olympics were there one year.
Reykjavik?
Yeah, something like that. Iceland is green and Greenland is ice.
Barcola says Angela Cartwright was also in The Sound of Music, as was Heather Menzies of Logan's Run. Kevin says my Yorkie is part Chihuahua. He loves Yo Quiero Taco Bell.
He likes the Yo Quiero part or the Taco Bell part?
Glenn says, nothing on the radio. How about Wall of Voodoo?
I have a problem. The only vehicle that I have with a stereo is the Durango, and somehow the radio's not connected to the antenna. So even on FM stations, I have a hard time bringing them in. I might take the dash apart. I had a friend clean the stereo one time, so he may have not connected the antenna when it went back in. Because I know our local station is right here, right up the street from us. So it should be really strong, but I still can't get it.
Kevin says, not a smart dog. Dean says,
the smell of meat.
Dean says both if Kevin is smart. Kevin says both. You betcha, Dano. Dino.
I don't think you guys got this car over there. It's a Pontiac G2, and I think it was a Chevy something, and it's very similar to the car. I think they used one of them on Top Gear in the UK for their regular, run around the track. I think they used one of these cars. Not the Pontiac version, but the other one.
Dean says, Mexican Spec, maybe it's like a Tesla and you have to perpetually pay a subscription.
For what? Oh, my radio? No, they didn't have those things in the year 2000.
Barry says, no, I'm going to Tegucigalpa for the Blowpipe Festival. Where's Tegucigalpa? Tegucigalpa.
And what's a blowpipe?
Isn't it the Irish? What is that Irish instrument called? Bagpipe. Never mind. It's a bagpipe. Hold on. Tavo says, I'll be upgrading the sound in the Ute soon. I have just refurbished the AM radio / cassette player to go in.
Nice. This is a car that also wasn't sold in the U.S., which they all are. A Nissan Aprio. But it was an actual Nissan car. It was not a Renault rebadged. Because I asked somebody about that, and they said no. It actually was a Nissan car, and it was a pretty decent little car.
Kevin says, same as the Cavalier. Tavo says, we got that as a Korean-built Daewoo Lacetti, rebadged as Holden Marina.
Yeah, that's what they called it in the UK too, I think.
Kevin says, my Cavaliers were great cars, both wagons. Dean says, Honduras.
Cavaliers are great as long as the battery stays charged.
Glenn says, I must be dating myself. Wall of Voodoo sang, I'm on a Mexican radio. Dean says, I'm going in Barracuda's luggage. Okay.
All of you or parts of you?
Oh, rude. Chris says to Glenn, at least I got the reference, lol. Dean says, one thing I've learned, Barracuda is 100% a classy guy.
Kevin, have you learned that, Dean?
Kevin says, don't forget to like y'all. Thank you, Kevin. Glenn says,
I'm gonna be like Tony. There's 14 here and only 8 likes. Oh my God, nobody likes us. Okay, I'm done with that.
Glenn says, thanks, Chris. Barry says, I wish I was in Tijuana eating barbecue iguana. They say barbecue iguana?
It's from a song.
Now,
we should have barbecued the iguana that walked across the street in front of us. That gave us bad luck for the trip to buy the Fairmont.
It wasn't bad luck.
Yes, it was. The internet lies. The internet said if an iguana walks across the street.
It wasn't the internet. It was Gustavo that told you that.
No, I looked it up on the internet. It said
yes, it was good. Gustavo.
No, they said yes, it's good luck. It's a lie. Complete. We did get there on the plane without it crashing, so I don't know.
Glenn says, everyone on the chat is classy. Dean says, yes, all the Kiwiana crap I love. Barracuda thinks it's crass. He's right, of course. Wendy English is here.
Hi, Wendy. Thanks for coming.
Kevin says, nobody likes us. Guess we'll just eat worms. Go right ahead. I'm gonna stay right here with my carrot bread.
I eat the animals that eat the worms. The chickens.
Okay. Barracuda says, anyone seen Night of the Iguana?
I don't think so.
No, I can't say I have.
Does the iguana have a nightlife that we don't know about? I know what they do during the day. They just walk around the streets, get in people's way. Big green lizards, and I mean big, walking across the street. The first time I saw that, I was in Culiacan buying a 72 Ford LTD. I'm just standing there outside the guy's office, and this iguana just walks from one side of the street to the other, at the other end of the block. Like, that is just weird. And thing is just walking around the neighborhood, just loose.
You had peacocks. That's even weirder.
There was one peacock in my backyard, and that wasn't mine. He belonged to a neighbor.
Yeah, but you have peacocks in your house. That's even weirder than iguanas.
I had one peacock in the backyard, and it wasn't mine.
But that's even weirder.
That somebody brought that bird, and my yard was the only one that didn't have a dog, so he stayed in my yard. But iguanas just walking around the street like they own the town.
It used to be there.
In the United States, that iguana would be in somebody's house or in somebody's shower, or whatever. They build a big cage for it. Yeah, it wouldn't just be walking around the street. Definitely not.
Nah, you're lying. Kevin Smith says chicken paws, yum.
Imagine a Judge Judy episode. Somebody sues the owner of an iguana. I was just walking down the street and the iguana bit me as I walked by.
Okay. Wait. Double says Nissan pickup called Navara in us.
But when was it called that? They started putting names on it later, but that Nissan had a newer front end, but it was still a D21 hard body. But that was a 2017 model. Still selling the hard body in 2017 there. And of course we know what this is. This is a Mitsubishi diesel L200. One of the weirdest looking pickups they ever sold. The way the bed fits, the way the cab is formed and everything. I don't know what people used them for, but they used them.
Is that also a song?
What?
Dean says, long, slimy ones, big, fat, fussy ones, ewy, gooey worms.
He's just writing things so you will read them.
Okay. But it could have been from the Lion King, but I don't know. Wait. Very good says, I like peppermint twist, Dean. Glenn says, why did they want to cross the street?
Because he wanted to.
Chris says, free range iguanas command a higher price at the grocery store.
Oh, really? Do they taste better?
Dean says, the bird was trying to upstage Mexican Spec because ex Las Vegas baby. Barracuda says, I'm Fred Dag.
Believe me, Dean, I had cats in my house, and we were outside by the pool. The peacock was on the grass. My black cat comes running out of the house like he's gonna protect us from the bird. He got near the bird pecked his head. He turned around, ran back in the house, and never got near the peacock again. That peacock was not scared of cats whatsoever.
Double says L200 equals Triton here.
Triton? Triton's a name that they used on Fords. Why would they? Mitsubishi. No, Mitsubishi. That's a word that was on the Ford engines.
Dean Stevenson says, Judge Judy, well, you're an idiot. Get out of the way. Judgment in favor of the iguana.
You're probably right. Or she would ask, does the iguana have some pit bull in it?
No. Josh Holman says the spare tire is mounted on top of the truck where it's hard to reach.
Well, that was a customized truck, probably used for off-road or whatever, but it's not normally there. I think it's up under the rear, up under the bed. But the bed is so small, and the way it's shaped and everything, I mean, what can you even use it for? The new Mitsubishi trucks don't look like that. So they made them more mainstream now.
Dean says they are awesome birds.
Fiat.
Are they awesome birds?
Peacocks, yes.
Dean says
there's a whole lot of them. What's his name? Wayne Newton has a compound. It's on the corner of two main streets, and the peacocks are always flying over the walls and getting into the streets. It's a mess, but he's got a ton of them there.
Dean says John Clark was much better when he went to Australia. I don't know who John Clark is. Glenn says Black Cat and Iguana sound like a science fiction movie from the 1950s.
Could be. Although you would never see the brilliant green on the iguana in black and white.
Tavo says Mitsubishi pickup light truck was named Triton here since 1986.
Well, that's weird, since Mitsubishi is connected to Dodge and Mopar and not Ford.
Barry asked Dean, have you seen A Death in Brunswick? Chris says, that's a Fiat?
That is a Fiat. A big old Fiat station wagon. A little Fiat station wagon.
Kevin says, maybe Ford engines? Dean says, Judge Judy, wait, if you can prove the iguana was on isotropic drugs, do you have a prescription? You guys are weird.
People call these cars here forbidden fruit because you couldn't get any of them in the U.S. Not that you would want a Fiat. I mean, they sell enough Fiats through Mopar, through Stellantis. Was it Stellantis? No, it's Fiat. Peugeot. Here's a Peugeot. We're going to jump around all the weird cars.
Did you ask something? You're saying yes.
He was answering his own question.
Oh. No, but Barry is also saying yes. Ken Smith says, fix it again, Tony.
Yep. That's what Fiat means.
Tavo says, no, absolutely nothing to do with Ford, just the name given here, as Ford had no connection to Triton in Oz.
They didn't use Ford. They didn't use Triton engines over there in the Fords.
Chris says, I own 2 Fiats. They've been good cars so far.
You got 2 good ones then, because the Fiat 500, people were just leaving them on the side of the road and abandoning them because they were so bad. They wouldn't even fix them. And I'm talking about in Italy, where they're actually from, in Europe. But they're just a basic car, a 4-cylinder, 5-speed, or 6-speed, whatever. This is a cute little car for a Peugeot. We're gonna call it a hot hatch. Nobody sells a small car over there anymore. A little commuter car. Your back hurts? That's right, Chris. Almost every company here sells a small car, small engine, stick shift. All of them. Yeah. Because they need to. You know, here in this town, we don't have a lot of traffic, but in Mexico City, it is bumper to bumper traffic everywhere you go. There's more people than there is room. So they need to have these little cars. They have to. They can't just get rid of them off the market like they did in the U.S. They can't. They absolutely have to have it. And the trucks have to be small too.
Dean says, I have European family. These are our only weird to non-NJ Americans. NJ? New York? New Jersey?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Omega that I'm going to be delivering next Monday. We're going to be trailering it up to the border. It's a very bright color.
Kevin says, what? No electric car? Sarcasm.
It's not worth the effort to talk about them. This did look a lot better in the pictures, but now I have to clean it because it was at the mechanic for over a month. So I have to get all of his greasy hands off of it and clean everything for delivery.
Glenn says, but the high-end Fiat 500 came with a cappuccino machine, so you could drink your tears away for making a bad choice.
Where did they put it in that tiny little car? I mean, if they do sell a little car over there, it's not with a little price. I mean, you could take $20,000 here or like $23,000 here and buy a decent car that'll last you 10 years, 20 years, because they're not overly sophisticated with technology and all that stuff.
You know what I heard? Tlaxcala is making their own electric vehicle.
Who?
Tlaxcala. The state of Tlaxcala.
Oh, the state. Okay.
Yeah, the state of Tlaxcala is making their own electric vehicle, and they're making it like a cheap vehicle. It's gonna be like really cheap.
Do you want a cheap electric vehicle?
Well, they're making it with local parts, so that's what it's cheap.
Okay, well, they can't get batteries locally because all the ingredients come from Africa or wherever.
I don't know. I'll have to look into it, but that's what they were saying.
Yeah.
I have to look into it. Sounds interesting. Cabo says golf cart to the Tlaxcalan cart. I don't think so.
It's probably going to be a regular car, but just to use in their area. I seriously doubt it's going to be a long range, go wherever you want to car. Just to.
I looked into it and come back with answers to you next.
Why does that car have
next stream?
Why does that car have commercial plates on it?
Huh?
There's no way that's a commercial car. The little C2, the Chevy C2, was its official name. So we got to get down because the special car that I'm gonna be showing. Why is this in there?
I don't know.
It's a 77. I don't know. It doesn't look that good anymore. I hope he's okay with that. It had a lot more shine when he showed it to me. Maybe it's all the dirt. Here's the Lobo, which is what the fully loaded Ford truck was called in Mexico. And as I said, it's a small truck. 2-door, very short bed. This is what they use in Mexico City and all over the country because there's not a lot of room to drive around. So they do not have you can get a 4-door, but most people buy this. But this is not a base model strip with a 6-cylinder engine or anything. This is a fully loaded, every option that you could get is on the Lobos. They just look odd to me because of how big the front end is on all these new vehicles, and then you have this little bitty short bed in the back. I don't know if this one's 4-wheel drive though. I doubt it. It says F-150 on the back. It shouldn't. It should say Lobo.
Kevin says here in Ohio you can have a truck plate on a car if you work downtown. No? If you park or work down, so you can park it anywhere for free.
Well, usually the only open bed trucks get that plate, so maybe the plate didn't even belong to the car. That's a possibility. Or it was used by a business for something. I don't know.
You know what I haven't
seen? It's just weird to see.
You know what I haven't seen in a while?
What?
The SSR.
What's that?
The little, is it Chevy? It was a Chevy.
Oh, the SSR.
Yeah, the SSR.
Yeah, well, there's not very many in Mexico. They never sold it here.
I saw one.
Yes, there was one in Culiacan for sale for a long time because nobody wants one. And if you do get one, you have to get the last year because it had a much better engine in it or something.
Mm.
Lots of. This, of course, is called a Monza. Everybody knows that.
Barry says, will the wheels still be on it when you get it back from the mechanic? Of course.
When we get back.
When you get back.
When the wheels be on what?
On the Omega?
I assume so. It's going to be delivered with the wheels and tires that are on it.
Josh says, weren't very many in America either. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I haven't seen the SSR.
Because people didn't buy them. It was an experiment that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I liked it.
They were, from new, they were a toy. They weren't really usable for anything because they had a cover on the bed that only lifted up 6 inches, 8 inches or whatever to try to get stuff in there. And then all of the hydraulics and everything.
6 inches is enough. Come on.
Well, I appreciate that, but
hey, Jay's not here. I have to say it.
Hello, Mark. It's okay being late. You won't be punished this time.
Wait. Kevin says, I got tickets to the work truck for parking at a meter. Can park anywhere with a meter. Chris says the SSR was very expensive for what they were.
Yeah, there was a lot of technology and a lot of fail points. I can tell you.
Chris says, oh my.
Did you say hello to Mark?
No, hi Mark. I'm sorry. I don't know if you heard what I just said.
Let's not repeat it.
I'm quiet. Mark says I was at the stupid coin wash.
Oh, I wish we had that here.
Yeah.
It would make my life so much easier.
Maybe you should build one.
I talked to Jose many times about it, and he's like, no, people will just steal everything from it and steal all the money and everything else.
Yeah, that's fair.
Although there's a lot of people here that used to live over there that would know exactly what it is, and so I don't know.
Barry says, from parking, I've been hearing a lot about wheel theft in Los Angeles anyway. Dean says,
we're in Mexico. Nobody messes with things here. Believe it or not.
Not really, no. Unless it's like petty theft.
Barry, I have been driving old cars for over 20 years here in Mexico that you can open the hood from the outside. Nobody's stolen a battery. Nobody has stolen wheel covers. Nobody has ever touched one of my cars when I drive it somewhere.
We still take precautions, obviously.
Yeah.
But nobody's actually done it. Like,
no,
it's
nobody's tried it.
Only like petty theft. Like if you leave like tools visible on the back of your truck, then somebody's gonna break in and try to steal them. But not things like that. Dean says, don't need Jersey peeps. Have a bunch of imported cars from St. Pierre and Miquelon Islands. New Jersey peeps have a bunch of imported cars from St. Pierre and Miquelon Islands.
You're gonna have to ask somebody that lives there. None of us want to know anything about it.
Kevin says Jersey folk can't pump their own gas. Can't or won't?
The law doesn't allow them.
Ah.
They're all full service stations like they are here.
Oh, okay. Glenn says to Mark, must be an easier way to take a bath on a Saturday night.
Here's this truck here, even though it has the newer front end on it, the main body is a D21 hard body from 1986 and a half. Although the tail lights are a little flatter on the Mexican truck because we didn't care about side marker lights, but this truck is like 2014 or 2015 that they were still selling the hard body here in those years.
D21.
Yeah.
I thought it was D20.
No. They went from the 720, which was the older style, to the D21 in 86 and a half in the US. And they were still selling them here decades later.
There's only 20 size on a D20.
It's D as in David, 21.
D20. That's in dice. Kevin says, illegal. And then says Glenn. And Dean says, Mexicans aren't like people from Rome, Barracuda. What? Chris says, Volkswagen Polo.
It's either a Polo or a Lupo.
Kevin says, I leave my car unlocked so they don't break the windows. Yeah.
But they don't check your doors first, do they? They break the window and then find out that it's unlocked.
Mark says to Glenn, LMAO. Kevin says, no theft in 30 years. I've lived here.
Good. We all try to keep it that way.
Kevin says, in Akron.
Akron, Ohio.
Barracuda says, someone broke into my Valiant once when Dad owned it to release the hood to steal the air filter. The air filter.
Most of my cars have the release outside, but none of the idiots here know that, so they don't even mess with them. Here's another, it's a newer GMC truck, but it's got this huge head on it and then this tiny little bed in the back. It looks so weird to me, but these were the trucks that they sold, and they're fully loaded, every option in it, regular cab short bed. And I bet these trucks could cross into the U.S. because they're made exactly as the U.S. trucks, but I don't know what the procedure is for that. From what I am told, the second-gen Lincoln Mark LT, the pickup truck that was only made in Mexico and never sold in the U.S., those can cross because they're the same truck, but I don't know what the procedure is because they're not going to have the federal stickers on the doors that tell you that they comply with the U.S. federal whatever.
Josh says, why would someone steal an air filter is beyond me? Same.
If you can't find it for an old car.
Uno's here.
Hey, Uno.
And he says, hola. Room for uno más. Starts with a CH, ends with a Uro.
We're past churros.
I'm having carrot cake. And coffee. Oh, my coffee. Hold on.
When you guys over there in the U.S. stop getting the Jetta, they redesigned the front end and called it a Jetta Classic here.
Lester's here. He says, hi, sorry I'm late. Lost track of time.
Hi, Lester. That's fine. We're still here. We have some time left.
Barry says, I wasn't many Mexicans, Dean. It's wheel theft in America I've been hearing about.
They steal everything there, Barry. They steal your car, cut it up into pieces. I don't know what they do with them since there's VINs on every part on it now. But it's rampant.
Dean says, it says 273 Challenger Mexican Spec. Very valuable.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the air filter.
Yeah.
Chris says, wait, you're passing around churros? Where's mine?
Uno's passing around churros.
Yeah, I have carrot cake. Carrot bread. Chris says, we still get the Jetta here.
Yeah, right. But I'm saying that when this one was the 1999 Jetta was on sale, and then a couple years later, it stopped being sold. They continued it here with the Classico name. They redid the taillights. They redid the front end. And they sold the same car for years and years and years after that, too. We always get they keep the old stuff for sale here.
Kevin says, had my house broken into in Toledo. They stole the kids' Christmas gifts and the needle off my record player. What the hell?
These people.
Glenn says to Mark, they do coin wash, several purpose though. I had friends who would put paint stripper in a car and wash it off or do a paint job at late at night shenanigans.
Ugh. Imagine the cleanup for the owner of the car wash having all that paint all over the ground. You know, like we did the roof on the subway, put the paint thinner, paint stripper, and then it just washes off with water.
Mm-hmm. Dean says some of them awesome 22-inch wheels with 35 aspect, 275 section tires. I take them too. But if I have to declare it as a hang up baggage, back to New Zealand. Hand baggage?
Tire?
Maybe. Um, Dean says this was not that advice, Mark. Mark says to Glenn, oops, I meant to tag you. Kevin Smith says they put salt and water at our coin wash, so no sense in washing cars in winter.
Mm. That's to keep the water from freezing.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible. They should just heat it up.
Dean says, who are these people? Chris says, not to self, never move to Toledo.
Yeah. Spray salt all over your car. That's like driving your car into the ocean.
Yeah. Mark says to Kevin Smith, this cone wash is to wash clothes. It's not a car wash though.
Well, we naturally assumed it was a car wash since we're all car people, Mark.
Yep.
I wouldn't think about washing clothes, and a car doesn't fit in a washing machine anyway.
Kevin says Toledo sucks. That's why I left. Dean says, I'm glad Barracuda's dad didn't put a tail on me. Barracuda says, someone tried to steal the whole Valiant another time. Luckily, I fitted it with an ignition cutoff switch about 3 months prior.
You gotta protect yourself.
Kevin Smith says, we wonder why cars rust.
You wonder?
Glenn says, Toledo was where my car was built 84 years ago.
84.
Mark says, Mex, that depends on how much you want to take it apart. Yeah, you wanted to put your wheels on my oven.
That was for painting. That was for powder coating.
Yeah, well.
And it wasn't your oven. I was going to buy an oven specifically for that.
You're not going to buy an oven for that if you're not going to buy me an oven first.
Watch me.
No. So rude. Dean says, Holy Toledo. Kevin says, I lived 2 blocks from the Jeep plant years ago. Oh, the smell of paint in the morning.
Yeah. This little thing on the screen used to be a Pontiac Matisse, but then when Pontiac went out of business, they threw it over to Chevy and let Chevy sell it. So it's a little Korean car. I think it's made in India, though. A Korean car made in India, sold in Mexico. It's a winner.
Kevin says, heavens to Murgatroyd.
Yep.
Dean says, exactly Mexican spec. How could you?
Very easily, Dean. Powder coating makes for very nice wheels.
You're so rude. Dean says, oh dear, oh my lippy.
This is like the van that they drove us around in Mexico City to go look at the Fairmonts.
Yeah, but it didn't have such a big TV and stereo.
No, didn't have any of that. Didn't have the creepy lighting.
Olive is here.
Hi, Olive. Thank you for coming.
She says, hey, Mex and Mrs. Mexican Spec. Everyone here. Hey, looks like a Hiace with a Nissan badge.
Yeah, it's a Nissan. They share stuff.
Dean says, Puppy the Lion and Hardy Har Har. Are you singing again?
Cartoons.
Okay. Kevin says, a lot of my stoner friends worked at Jeep.
That says a lot, Kevin.
Main Street Mopers here.
Hey, Ken. How are you? Here, and now we have the Dodge or the Ram or whatever regular cab short bed they sold here. Again, big head in the front, tiny little bed in the back. They're very popular trucks here.
So I was I'm back. I had to go do a couple of things. Did you pet the cats?
Got to keep those cats fed.
Dean says it's great that stoners find recreational work, Kevin. Glenn says to Kevin, 1941 Willys a mere car, a coupe. It was held together with a 1420 hardware and cotter pins.
Another Suru.
Tabo says, sí, gato.
This thing's mixing up the pictures.
I don't know.
I have them in order of year, and it's throwing a Suru in to mix it with the Ram.
I don't know. I don't know if the pictures left. Oh, I think I did move one today.
I can tell you what, Nissan got their money out of this car in Mexico. That's for sure. They stopped making the 2-doors, and they only made this one model, the 4-door sedan, for years and years and years, and just kept selling it because it was the cheapest car in the line. So companies bought them like crazy, used them. They were taxis, they were delivery cars, they were everything. And Nissan just made a ton of money without having to change anything on these cars.
Jesus blind Ripple. Kevin says, why bother with a 2-inch trumpet, 2 feet trumpet?
Mm-hmm.
2 feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
1 is foot, 2 is inches.
Okay. Thank you. Dean says, I like it more mixed up, Mexican Spec.
Well, but when I'm talking about one, then it switches to a different vehicle. It gets confusing.
Kevin says, Larry, Curly, and Mo.
Hey, Mo.
Dean says, they craned them in.
This, of course, is a Seat. It's the Ibiza, I think. Ibiza, Ibiza.
A ver, Josh.
That's how you say it.
No, Josh says decent cars as long as you don't hit anything.
Yeah. Or somebody doesn't hit you on the side, T-bones you.
Dean says we can see what you don't mean. Uno says it's not the size of the bed; it's the torque in the truck that matters.
Not if you want to use it to haul things. I don't even think that's a good towing vehicle because the wheelbase is so short. It's going to be just bouncing and bouncing back and forth, trying to haul the trailer. But this is what they used here in Mexico.
Will the trailer's here?
Hello, Will. Welcome.
Olive says cute seat hatch. Seat hatch. Sorry. Seat. Uno says you having a special on white cars.
Yeah, I forgot to apologize for that. All of them that I found, almost all of them that I found were white. Didn't matter the make or model, they're white because that's what people buy here. It's hot. People don't want black cars or dark color cars, so they buy this. And this is a Kangoo. They left a few letters out. Kangoo. What is it, a Peugeot? Oh, it's a Renault, something like that. Only 167,000 kilometers. It's a deal.
Kevin says Dino and me drinking the same Kool-Aid.
What flavor is it?
I don't know, but Dino's singing again. Uno says the Donald Trump episode.
Why is it the Donald Trump episode? Because they're all white?
Mm.
This is a Volkswagen little truck. Saviero, they call it. Because Volkswagen has it. Chevy has it maybe. Ford had it. You can make these look decent, these little trucks. Front wheel drive, 4-cylinder manual, maybe air conditioning. It'll run forever like that.
Dean, I'm gonna stop reading your messages. What the hell? What are you writing? I don't even know. This is lol honor speciesism. I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
Well, the trail says, I saw your listing of the 1986 Ford B200.
That is a very nice truck, Will. One owner, very low miles, well taken care for. It just needs a new set of tires because the right rear tire looks smaller than the rest, so it's better to just get a new set of tires. Chris, the Amarok was a much bigger truck and mostly diesels. These are just your little, it's like the Jetta front end, and then they made it into a pickup truck, or the Vento front end made it into a pickup truck. So, it's just for your little deliveries and stuff around town. Like I said, in Mexico City, they need the little small trucks to get things done.
Dean says, Funnerism mixed up. Kevin says, are we orange now? I'm not. Dean says, to Chris, the not Amarok.
Mm-hmm.
Uno says, what does Senora Spec drive? What do I drive?
You don't drive anything.
I don't drive. I'm the...
She's the designated passenger.
Yeah,
the designated GPS.
I'm the passenger princess.
She's the designated GPS controller.
No, I'm the passenger princess. Yes, I'm the passenger princess. Olive says, cutie, I need some kind of rack to carry wood and stuff through. So. Chris says, that little truck is cool. What is that? Oh, Leon.
Seat Leon.
Dean says, no, because they're all mixed up and make no effing sense. Uno says, did the Amarok have a red cab, 2-door bench seat, 3-seater?
No, I think they all came in 4 doors.
Red cab? Regular cab, okay. Dean says, a spoonerism is a mixed up disambiguation. Dean, are you okay?
I'm glad you could read those words because I would have no idea.
Dean, are you okay? Do you need some help? Chris says, if you're the passenger princess, then I hope Max bought you a tiara to wear. Where's my tiara?
No way, Chris, because a tiara will rip up the headliners in the cars. So that is not happening.
I'm not short enough.
That is not happening.
That was the Senora Spec drives Mr. Spec crazy.
Well, that's true. That is true.
Yep. Well, the drill says, hoping there's a 1995 B200 carryall that's in bad shape. I can use its engine to install in my 85 Mustang.
Just get one over there. Just buy an old truck. Buy an old truck that has an engine. Oh, you want the Mexican 302 then?
Uno says, I guess it's in a regular cab now, since every truck is a 4-door now. Huh?
Yeah, that's true.
Chris?
Is nobody making a regular cab anymore?
Chris says, rip up the headliners, weakest excuse ever.
But it works. This little truck is called Tornado, the Chevrolet Tornado. Same thing as the Volkswagen. It's a little truck, little Corsa type thing with a little bed on it. They keep making the bed smaller. They could have brought the tailgate out so you could have more room, but I don't know.
Dean says, I'm okay, you're okay, we're all okay.
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Davos says, we can still buy regular cab, Hiace, and Isuzu D-Max here. Davos says, Hilux. Duh.
Yeah, Hilux.
Uno says, regular cabs are only available on the fleet sales line.
That's weird. Because that's what a lot of people want. But like I said, over there, you get a regular cab short bed. It's a strip model, 6-cylinder. It's been like that for years and years and years. Long time.
Well, the drill says, yep, I want the Mexican Spec 302. That's 1985 years matching. Olive says Chevy also looks useful. Calico Drap Kitty demanded liners there.
Will, I don't know if you would. It would be matching because there's no numbers on the engines to tell you anything about what year it was built or anything. And just because it's in an 85 truck doesn't mean it started out there. You know, engines go out, they throw another engine in there, and you never know where the engine came from.
Uno says Tornado or Toronado?
No, this one is Tornado. Toronado was an Oldsmobile.
So, Tornado.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin says, sure about that, Dino? Olive says, I like just an extended cab, not four-door cab. A bit of room for dry stuff.
And to move your seat back a little bit. This little car, I think they sold it for only a couple of years. A Volkswagen Up, the smallest car you can get in the line. Little cute little thing though.
Tabo says most dual cabs here have a hard lid on the bed. Basically, you just get a pumped-up sedan with a big square trunk.
Yeah. I never saw the point in driving a pickup truck anyway. You can't put anything in the back because it's going to get stolen. So why even bother? I'd rather have a station wagon.
Kevin says Oldsmobile Tornado.
Yeah. When it was an Oldsmobile Tornado.
Chris says Volkswagen sold an UP or Up GTI, and very reminiscent of the original MKL or MK1 GTI from what I've heard.
I don't think we got that here because they don't really do.
The Up?
Yeah, we got the Up, but he's talking about the performance model.
Ah.
I put in here somewhere the Toyota Yaris GR, I think, which is the fastest Toyota Yaris they make, which I don't think they're not selling it in the US, they're selling it here. There it is, right there. Speak of the devil, and it's red.
Will says that Volkswagen Up is perfect for city driving.
Yes, that's what they sell them here for. A little commuter car.
Yeah.
Get to work, get home, and it'll last for decades. This little car here, there's a lot of talk about it because of how fast it is and everything.
Dean says unfinished project needs one of those.
Doesn't he live out in the middle of nowhere?
Mm-hmm. Olive says the theft factor isn't that big everywhere, Max. Mark says, damn, that is actually a good looking Yaris compared to what I've seen.
Yeah, they really decked this one out for like track performance. It's brand new. This is a 2025 model that I put in here.
Tavo says Yaris GR available down here along with a Corolla GR. Both similarities Spec.
Similarly Spec, yeah.
Similarly Spec. Okay.
They really went out. They put GR everywhere on this car. They want you to know. On the seats, on the steering wheel, on the back.
Oh, this is like, is that a GR Yaris?
Hmm?
Is that a GR Yaris?
Yes, it is, Olive.
Even on the thing.
Yeah, more forbidden fruit. Even on the gear shift lever.
Oh Jesus!
Everywhere you look, you know it's a GR.
Josh says talk about a hot hatch.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith says big model car shows in Atlanta today. Can I post a link? Big car show in Atlanta today. Can I post?
Unfortunately, only a mod can post a link.
If it dries, can he get banned? No, he doesn't. He can make them.
I think you can post a link, but it won't be clickable. Somebody will have to copy and paste.
Copy paste.
Yeah.
Try and post it, see what happens. Olive says rallyish out of the box.
Yeah, and I can see it doing that too, the way it's designed and everything.
Dean says, "Yeah, Olive. Do you know what they did to the horse thieves in the South? Old habits die hard."
Unfortunately, we don't do that anymore.
And Kevin says, "1995 entries."
Oh, 995 entries in the model car show.
Sorry. Wiltrell says that high performance Toyota Yaris probably didn't meet our country's emission standards. Sorry, which may be why it wasn't sold here. That happened to the Nissan Skyline.
Yeah, I'm sure it was something like that, or the crash. Because it was made as a rally car, so maybe they didn't put all the. Because the now you have to have a reverse camera, you have to have all of this stuff in the car to control your lane departure and everything. They don't let you sell a car without it, so maybe they didn't put it in this little car.
Tabo says, "Hey, look, a real car."
Yes, when it gets back to it. Okay, there we are.
Dean says the up, well, sorta, but they could plane them up. Kevin says scale riders on YouTube.
Okay, so the people can look for it with that. This Valiant is called an Acapulco for obvious reasons in Mexico, but it was the Signet model. But they never sold this model. They never sold the Valiant with the Barracuda front end in the U.S., but they did here. And it looks good on there. You can't tell from the front if it's a Valiant or if it's a Barracuda, which is neat.
Mark says it's funny how the vehicles progress. Look at the size of a Honda Civic in the late 80s and early 90s compared to today's Honda Civic. Today's Civic is huge compared to the early ones.
I bought a new 92 Accord two-door and then a 93 Accord SE the next year. And I see a new Civic now, and I could swear it's an Accord. It is a monster. It is absolutely crazy what they've done with new cars and the sizes. That's why they brought out so many smaller models underneath it. The Honda Fit, the Honda, there's a whole bunch more that are smaller than the Civic now.
Olive says to Dean, he in the Northeast, someone would have to be desperate that they are. You wouldn't want to leave valuables unattended, but generally no one messes with the stuff that way.
It's weird when the day before yesterday, Mrs. Spec and I walked over to the little store over here. This guy pulls up in a motorcycle, parks it, takes off his helmet, leaves it on the seat, and goes in the store. He's not worried about anybody stealing his helmet off of his motorcycle. You cannot do that in the U.S. I don't care where you are.
Dean says the Fiat 500 R-Bath was similar. Olive says dual exhaust, they're up to something. Glenn says no one will be restoring a modern car 30 years from now, let alone driving one.
They can't. There will be no parts available for them. Nobody's going to make those sensors 30 years later.
Chris says the 500 R-Bars is a nice ride. I'm kind of sort of looking for one.
Back to what Glenn said, with all of the programming that you have to do to put a new part in, nobody's going to have that technology to get that car running, even if you do have the part in your hand.
Yeah.
The sensors or whatever. So, but that's their plan.
Kevin says like restoring an appliance.
Kevin, I think it's worth it to restore a 50s refrigerator, to use it again, paint it and redo the cooling system and everything, refrigerant, and use it for another 60 years.
Towel says small cars keep growing, so then they release another small car to replace it. Then that grows.
Yeah.
Mark says exactly. And now look at the Yaris. It progressed from a subcompact to a compact car.
Yeah, the one that I showed here looks smaller, but that's because it was made to be a rally car. I think the regular Yaris is a bigger car, isn't it?
Barracuda says my fairly new Samsung fridge needs restoring already.
If it still works.
Yeah.
I don't need sensors and computers in everything in life. There has to be a reason that they're doing that, so they can be controlled externally.
Yeah. Mm, Josh says that's because in America no one wants small cars.
I don't think it's no one. People need small cars.
Dean says, well, if you sell a million Civics, then the best way to sell another million is to keep upsizing them for the growing customers. Mark says, lol, I was at the Walmart. They were closing, and next to where you return the carts, there was a brand new motorcycle helmet. No bike around. And it wasn't in a box either. Guess who has the bike helmet? Chris Barry. LG fridges had horrendous problems with the compressors. Wonder if Samsung is similar.
They probably all come out of the same factory anyway.
Glenn says the seat warmers was a downfall of the automobile. Hey, I want a seat warmer.
Why?
Because
Is it ever cold here?
I could get cold. No, I don't want a seat warmer. I want a seat ventilation.
I don't want an air conditioning system in my seat.
Because I get allergies.
It's hard enough to keep it working in the vehicle itself.
But I get allergies. Chris says all of my cars will be considered small cars. Have zero interest in anything full size.
The LeBaron isn't small.
Tavo says, how simple is a fuel injector? If I could change one in my van, I have to connect my laptop and pair the individual projector with the ECU.
Oh, it's ridiculous. All of this new stuff.
Mark says, I've used seat warmers in the summer when my back is grumpy. When you to like for pain.
Oh, okay. Put it on pause.
Pause.
Okay, here's story time. In 2013, Mrs. Spec and I went over to Guadalajara, and I made a deal on my 63 Plymouth Savoy with a guy. He was going to deliver it in a day or two. He was going to drive it down from his... He lived up on a mountain type thing, so he was going to deliver it. So Mrs. Beck and I looked around, and we went to go look at a car. This car was inside a warehouse. Do you remember what kind of stuff was in it? It was wheat or something, right?
It was wheat.
Okay. So we didn't even know anything about that. But we go into this warehouse, and we're looking at this car. Absolutely gorgeous car that you're seeing on the screen right now. 1970 Galaxy limousine that was never used commercially. The man used it to take his kids to school and stuff. The car had 35,000 kilometers on it in 2013. And I think he wanted 35,000 pesos for the car. But I had already purchased the other car, and not like I lived over there. I was only able to deal with one. Did it die?
It wasn't on.
I turned it on.
It wasn't on. Anyway.
So we go all around this car. I put the key in. I start it. I've never felt a Ford ignition so tight, like it was brand new. Looked all around the car. The car has no air conditioning in the front for the driver, but it has air conditioning in the rear. There's vent. You'll see the pictures. There's vents in the rear that blow it back on the necks of the passengers. But this was never a commercially used vehicle. It was always a family vehicle. He sold it after a while, and now the current owner wants 250,000 pesos for this car. It might be worth it. I don't know, because it's very rare and nice and like brand new and everything. But when Mrs. Speck and I left there, I called the guy because a friend of my friends here was helping us over there. And I called him because the sun had go down, and I said, hey, can you come get us where, I don't remember what town we were in. He's like, are you serious? You're over there at nighttime? I said, yeah, what's the problem? Well, it's not a very safe area. So he did come down there to pick us up. But I did not feel well after that because the whole warehouse was filled with gluten. It was wheat everywhere. It was in the air. It was all over the car. There was dust.
Of wheat.
Yeah, there was dust all over the car. inside the car, and I was breathing all of this stuff. So the next day, she and I are at there's this jewelry. I don't know what you would call it. It's a couple of floors of a warehouse that all they do is sell jewelry,
like a mall?
Jewelry wholesale. It's not even a mall. It's like an industrial thing. They sell jewelry wholesale to other people that sell it in stores. So we were there, and my phone rings, and the guy's like, "Do you have my keys for the limo?" Like, no, I gave them back to you. He couldn't find his keys for the car. But anyway, I wish I would have bought that car for 35,000 pesos because it is absolutely gorgeous inside and out. With, I think it has 36,000 kilometers on it now after 12 years or more. So go ahead and let them look at it.
Uh,
No,
of course.
It's all mixed.
Leslie says, what's really wanted here are small pickup trucks, but rear-wheel drive. Mark says that's a tiny steering wheel. That's what a car that we're looking at.
Yeah, I'm a Duster.
Uno says, was that an up or uppo?
Yes, it was an up. Stop mixing them.
Stop it. Dean says LG is fine. It's when the ports drop the 20, 40, and 53-foot containers they're stored in. Oh, okay. Barracuda says, I'm sure it's just a circuit board problem, but parts are hard to find, as are technicians that want to have anything to do with them, which is surprising because I'm communicating with you on a Samsung phone and it's been great.
Not much goes wrong with phones.
You'll be surprised. Mark says, how many pesos for now for you $1?
It's about 1840
Dean says
this weekend.
1970 Galaxy Stretch.
Well, yeah, it was made. A conversion company made this. But you can see in this picture the vents and on the back. The thing back there is blowing air conditioning into the rear passenger compartment.
That in the middle is new. It used to be wood.
Yeah.
They replaced that probably because it was
wood.
Yeah, wood.
But you can tell the car looks brand new everywhere.
Olive says how rude. Will the Trail says that's such a cool, interesting car. Chris says 18.4 pesos per dollar. Bean says the Pluton was free Mexican Spec.
Absolutely, it was. See, there's no air conditioning in the front of the car. There's a compressor under the hood, and all the Freon runs to the back. There's a thing in the trunk that blows the blower blows it into the rear passenger compartment, and there's a divider so the driver gets none of it.
Rude. Mark says to Chris, wasn't there a time where it was around 2,000 pesos for a dollar? No.
No.
Maybe when it used to be, when the peso used to be 100.
The old peso, and they took 2 zeros off of it.
Yeah. Kevin says, I love my 1969 LTD. What a great car that was. I owned it in 1978.
Yeah, I had one too. Plus, I had a 69 Ford XL sports roof with a 429 under the hood. What a beautiful car that was.
Barry says, I replaced it with a 1980s Simpsons fridge. Simpsons? You mean Samsung? It still works perfectly. Mark.
In case, I know you didn't ask, but those are the wheel covers that came on this car from new. Those wheel covers were never used in the U.S. either. They were made and put on here. One of the headlights is out. Is it out? Maybe it's on just a little bit. Still got the Jalisco plates on it, and it's now in San Luis Potosí. They never changed it over. So I wonder who the owner is now.
Cabo says, my 1954 Kelvinator fridge has had door seals and repaint in its life.
When's the last time you saw a 1974 Galaxy with such a perfectly new looking engine. It's crazy how nice this car is.
Uno says, what does an up average do on your US border exchange? Are there any up GTI versions?
We can't send them across yet because they're too new. They're not that old.
Barry says, that's incredible, Tavo. Ollie says, that was the root part, the lack of AC for drive. I remember that dash though.
Drivers don't get to have anything, but that's the way it was made. Guadalajara was not a very hot town, so they probably never used the air conditioner in the back either.
But I thought the driver picks the music and passenger shuts his gate hole.
Yes, in a regular car. In a limo, the driver shuts his gate hole, and the driver has control of the radio in the back.
So rude. Kevin says, I had a real icebox in my apartment in Toledo. I had ice buried every day.
Had a nice delivery every day.
Tavo says, I'm going to that 80s Simpson Barry. Also, it is Simpson. Simpson's Rich, not Samsung. They were.
Is it yellow?
I don't know. They were still built properly then. Aldous says, ooh, 510 wagon?
Yeah, I had that in there for a customer, but I sent him all the information, and then he goes to me. Doesn't answer. I've sent 2 more emails. What are we thinking here? Nothing.
Barry says, my old Simpson fridge wasn't cheap though. I had to extract $25 from my wallet. Kevin says, favorite part of my LTD, the radio was to the left of the steering wheel.
Absolutely. No passenger should be touching a radio.
Rude.
Or anything else.
I'm the one that controls all of that.
Now you do. Not back then.
Mm-hmm.
In 69, you just close your mouth and you sit in the passenger seat.
Mm-hmm.
Or the back seat.
Olive says, chauffeurs' uniforms, though, tend to be pretty stuffy.
Yes. That's not the problem of the owner of the car.
You're going to pass out and you're going to crash. Barry says, it could be early 90s, Tavo. If it did stop working, I get the impression they're easily repaired. Kevin says, rare classic rides on YouTube has a warehouse full of Malays era cars.
Malays.
That's what I said, Malays era cars.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin says, most have very low mileage. And it has good harvest refrigerator.
This red 510 wagon is a US model because you can see it has the overhead cam engine in it. And I sent him this one too. This one is only 2 hours from me where my son lives. I've talked to him. This is the second time. I sent him a message asking him a question, and he answers me with my name because he knows who I am. But this is a pretty nice car, except for the back seat was not reupholstered and plaid to match the front seats. So that's one thing that it needs to happen.
Gold harvest refrigerator, not good harvest. Tavo says, to Barry, you have a compressor, some tubes, and a thermostat in a box. Olive says, for passenger to control radio and stuff, you have to dub them cruise director.
Or the owner of the car. In a formal limousine in the 60s, late 50s, early 60s, the passenger sits in the right rear seat, and there's a control panel right next to him that controls everything. Controls the stereo, controls the air conditioner. This is a Mexican-only vehicle, the Ramirez, that was made. They made all kinds of different body styles and stuff. And very hard to find one of these here in Mexico. Nobody wants to sell them.
Dowell says that's what our Datsun 1600 engine looks like.
The overhead. You have the overhead cam there? We had the overhead valve in Mexico.
Uno says, when those Upos of legal model year, let me know. I'll take those. A regular and a GTI.
But you're in Canada, right? So it can be 15 years old. So that would be a 2010. No, they're newer than 2010. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if we even got the GTI. We might have. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up.
Mopper Kaden plays here.
Hey, Kay. Thank you for coming.
Barry says, should I hold on to the compressor from the Samsung fridge towel? Mopar K says, I found a freeway for sale. A freeway?
A freeway? The whole freeway?
It's a capital freeway. Mm. Mopar says, I'm sorry, Kay says, I had never heard of them. Learn me about them.
What is a freeway?
Hold on to everything, Barry. Hold on. Tabo says, yes, our 1600 510 was an OHC.
Overhead cam. Yeah, well, you live in Australia, Tavo, where there's a big distance between everything. That wasn't the case in Mexico in the early 70s, late 60s, where people really didn't travel on the highway, so they didn't need to keep up with highway traffic. So these cars were just around town cars. That was it.
Kay says, whole freeway, wheels and all. Then she says, it's like a clown car, I feel.
A freeway is a car?
It's a tiny car with one seat from the 70s.
Freeway?
Tao says to Barry, doubt it would be compatible. I don't know the fridge, I think.
If it's a tiny car with one seat, it was probably older than the 70s. Because there weren't many independent companies working in the 70s. There was way too much smog stuff to comply with, so people really weren't doing that in the 70s.
Kay says 3 wheels, probably just popular in the 70s. Panther Pink Duster. What? No, Kevin says Panther Pink Duster? I don't know if we were
talking about. It was red. The Duster was red. This is still the Ramirez. I'm not sure what engine is in this thing. Could be a diesel from Dina, or I don't know. I don't know what engine would be in it.
Other says Jelly Beans Max anyway.
Yeah.
Jelly Bean Max anyway. Double says we had an Austin freeway down here, Australian version of the old Austin Cambridge, with a 6-inch place of the fourth. Or with a 6 in place of the 4th.
Mm-hmm. This is another 510 wagon I sent the guy, but I never got an answer from the seller on that one.
I want to go to Chihuahua.
And that's the engine that we have here in Mexico.
No, Monterrey. Never mind, Monterrey. I want to go to Monterrey.
Chihuahua's nicer, though.
Yes.
And this is a very, very nice 74 Mexican spec truck. I'll let you notice the differences on your own. Of course, on the grill it says 292 because that's the inline 6 that came in it. You'll notice a few differences out back. That's not a Chevy truck.
Barry says, so did you recondition your old fridge compressor or get a new one? Kevin says, I remember the 70s when all the huge cars sat on the car lots and no one would buy them. Chris says, looked it up, Latin American version of Up, different than the European model. Up GTI never sold in Latin America.
Is Mexico considered Latin America, though?
Yes. Kevin says, cool truck.
They haven't showed the back of it yet. Well, we haven't showed the back of it yet. Mm-hmm. Notice on the dash where it says frenos instead of brakes. They did put some Spanish. They put some Spanish on the dashboards, but then down there it says lights and windshield wiper. So they mix the English and the Spanish. Why would it say friends? Why would they put a friend's light on the dashboard of a Chevy truck?
Don't make me laugh.
That doesn't make any sense. And of course you have a brown seat in a blue truck. What other color would you put in a blue truck than a brown seat?
I just
1974.
hold on. That was says to Barry. You just rock it with a rubber mallet. Camiones Chevrolet.
It says that it's from Jalisco.
Tabo says it's a warning light that a friend wants to ride tomorrow. Don't make me laugh. I can't laugh without coughing since COVID. Freaking COVID. Olive says you better have some friends if you need to break work. Stop it.
Need to break what?
If you need to break to work.
But it wouldn't be a light on the dash of a work truck.
All this. I need coffee. I don't have any more coffee anymore.
Hey, Gearhead. Thanks for dropping in. I just dropped in to say hi and give a like. Still moving, friend. That's fine. Thank you for the like. Just call your friends now. No, the light said frenos, which is brakes, and there's a few other. The gas gauge goes from V to LL, not from E to F. It goes from vacío to lleno, which is LLENO. So you couldn't see it because the plastic is faded, but that is on the dash. So they use some Spanish and some English on those Chevy trucks. Olive says, oh, is that what's in the Green Maverick? Green Maverick. It's about time for the doctor to make an appearance, Chris says. I'm not even sure if he's awake. I sent him the link. I sent him the message, and he knows. I think he knows we're on at 2:00, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if he shows up. You know, last night was Friday night, so he was playing video games with his friends. Pictures jumping around. Is it? Is it jumping around? Stop. Yeah, there's some pretty nice 620s here, Tabo. They've been redone. You know, the goal for me would be to have a shop to redo all of the mini trucks here and send them back to the U.S. We have them all here. They all came in the early 2000s, and they're all over the place here. Toyotas, Mazdas, Nissans, everything you can think of is here. There's the back of the Chevy truck. You can see the difference in the bed, the way the design is. That was the Chevy bed in Mexico in the early 70s. This keeps jumping around and jumping around from one vehicle to the other. Light blue to yellow.
Olive has had a bright yellow pickup before.
It calls a lot of attention.
Yeah.
All yellow vehicles do. People talk about red cars that call attention of cops. No, that yellow. You see it in the dark.
I missed the crosswalks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
It was a lot of fun.
Was it?
Yeah. The seats were a bit uncomfy, but everything else.
Because it was a crossbox. Yeah. I don't even have a picture of it, do I?
I don't think so.
No, you lose everything when you switch your telephone.
Well, if you wait until it breaks, yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to do? You can't see the future, so you don't know it's going to break or not. But I like these little vehicles in bright colors. The electric blue that was on the Escort GTs, it looks great on a small car. But you put it on something like a Durango, you know, the 2000 Durango, it doesn't look right.
Olive says, "Oh, a little extra cab going on there. I like."
What did Datsun call the extra cab, Olive?
Chris says, "So you don't back up your phone? For shame."
Why would I back up a phone?
You need to back it up so you don't lose your stuff.
Ah.
Olive says, "When I bought my Mass Pike surplus truck, I was like, the yellow has to go. But then I polished that paint and I was like, getting waved at, and I was like, can't paint this. It makes people happy."
Yellow looks really good on a lot of vehicles.
Yeah.
This, of course, is an import because it's a Datsun B210 and they were not sold here. But I thought it would be interesting to put it in here. Everybody has a story about a B210.
Tavo says, "Our government roads highway department had all vehicles bright yellow, dozers, graders, trucks, pickups, and cars."
So they've patented the color.
Kay says, "I like it."
Datsun B210. There's not too many around anymore. Doesn't even look rusted. Rocker panel's good. Quarter panel good. It is a 4-door though. I remember as a kid there was one that was just completely junked out. It wasn't even sitting, it didn't have wheels or anything, but it was an automatic. And I got in it and I put my foot all the way down on the floor to the gas pedal, and there was a click there. Click, 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 down, down and up, down and up. And I'm assuming that was an electric passing gear. You put the gas pedal all the way down and it'll downshift the transmission into whatever the other gear was. It had to be, but I just remember that click, 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 click.
Olive says, "I don't know, Mix, what Datsun called them. Probably something similar to other companies."
Every company had their name for them.
Tavo says, "B210 was called 120Y down here."
Really?
Tavo says, "Most hated car of its time."
People love them now. Anybody want a Pacer? An absolutely gorgeous restored Pacer? I got contacted by a guy in Belgium. He wanted the pictures and he wants me to send it to him, but I don't have any way to ship it out of here. Back to the Datsun B210.
Kay says, "Ooh, all kinds of innovation things." Barracuda says, "Speaking of your governor, Tavo, Mr. Trump wasn't very polite to Kevin Rudd the other day." Chris says, "I thought Kiwi wanted a Pacer."
I've already offered it to Kiwi twice, Chris, but he's busy with the projects that he has.
Mm, innovation. I can't. Okay, it says innovations, all kinds of innovations. Like, yeah, innovations. Yeah. Barry, sorry, Tavo says to Barry, "Nobody is polite to crud."
I bet you haven't seen a nicer Pacer than this in a long, long time. They did everything right, even painting the wheels the color of the car. And of course, it has VAM wheel cover hubcaps on it because it was not made by AMC. It was made by VAM in Mexico. Mrs. Spec really needs to get on the shipping of cars because I could sell a whole lot more cars if I could ship them from Veracruz to Florida and the people could just pick them up in the yard over there. They pay their tariff, pay their fees, and they drive out in the car. They definitely sell a whole lot more cars. We need to get that online. You need to call Roxana and talk to her.
And Tavo says, "Here's a complete I don't know what that means. W anchor? Oh, okay. Never mind.
Put it together. Put it together.
I forgot the word for that thing. So I was like, what is that called? I can't remember.
Well, he got his point across. This is a stunning pacer. The color's right. Everything is right on it. You couldn't, for what they're asking for this car, you could not restore one at all. That's not a pacer. That's a Mustang.
Missing a radio.
Of course. They take them out and never put them back. And it is a coupe. It's a notchback.
Barry says, although still likely to cop it from him too.
There's the interior of the pacer. So nice. We're going to see the handle on the side to recline the seat and everything. Everything is complete and as it should be. Way you could restore a pacer for what they're asking for this. Even with transport and travel and everything and getting it to the border, there's no way you could restore this car. Restore a car like this. Back to the Mustang.
Will says, nice pacer. That was the pacer. Still looks kind of futuristic now.
They drive really nice though. I'm not sure if it has the 4.2 or the 4.6 in it. I would have to ask that. Now this was my viral car. I put the video out on this car, this 82 Magnum, and I'm getting like 20 to 30 follows on Instagram a day from this car. It's really weird. When nothing has been happening on Instagram for months, and then I put this car out and the likes and the follows, people following me to see more of it. It's a beautiful car too.
Okay, it says greenhouse on wheels.
Oh look, there's a video of something.
I'm glad I muted it. Right, I shouldn't have. It's a video engine.
Kind of looks like a Fox body. Maybe. That's definitely a Duster.
Kevin says greenhouse on wheels. All this says Pacers have a real following. Mark says AMC Pacer, the small white car.
That's what they called it.
Will says funny how both the Pacer and the Ford Mustang are the same color.
Yeah.
Other says that's just a properly done car. That's not usually done at all.
They did do it nice. They did do it right.
Main Street Mopar says, I wish I could afford it.
It's such a nice car, Ken.
The Magnum.
Yeah. The interior is all original. It's never been touched. It is a stick shift. This keeps jumping around.
I'm sorry. I didn't change it. I don't know why.
They were all in line. Do you have an option on this to sort?
Yeah.
To sort by name? You put sort by name and it'll put everything in order again.
I don't know. I have to check. It says Diplomat Coupe. There.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin
but
says,
with a surprise under the hood.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
That's the 360 right there.
Kevin says, Pacer passenger door is longer than driver door.
Yes, it is.
Look who's here.
Cool. Oh, hey, Mr. Spec, Dr. Spec, I'm gonna have to, when I get off this, I'm gonna tell you how to go in and change your handle, because you have to change that too. You have to go into your account, customize account, and you'll see where it says handle. Change it to Dr. Spec like your channel name is, because there's no more names on these lives. They're only using your handles. This car's gone. This car's been sold.
Anyway, wait. Yeah, hi, Dr. Spec. How are you?
Yeah, that's Dr. Spec that just came in case everybody wants to know. We'll get that handle changed.
He says no.
You need to. They're not using names anymore for our protection.
Mark says, I have a soft spot for diplomats. Drove a cab for a few years.
Well, this is a Diplomat with a 360 and a 4-speed. Original interior. That interior has never been touched. That's how it came from the factory right there. Front and back. I'm glad this car's gone. It's been for sale for 3 years. This blue Mustang. It's finally gone.
Hey, Mr. Dr. Spec. Send me your wish list. I need to figure out what I'm going to get for Christmas and stuff.
Yeah, Christmas is coming up pretty quick, huh?
Yep.
In Walmart, they're already selling Christmas stuff. And it's not even Halloween yet.
Yep. Barry says, what's with all the handles change?
This is just the way it's going to be. That's just the way it's going to be. This is all the lives are going to be like this. They're slowly rolling it out to everybody.
I don't have a wish list. Well, make one. You have time.
What is it that you need?
Or want.
Or need.
Or want. Just make a wish list.
Or need.
Chris says to Barry, I heard it had something to do with preventing bots from joining chats.
We all know who's a bot and we get rid of them in chat, so it doesn't really matter.
Mark says, so the prospective optometrist? Chris says, just buy him a Steam gift card for Christmas. I don't know if he uses Steam though. That's the thing. I know he plays. I was gonna say Roblox, Repo, but I don't know if he uses it because he hasn't shared his account on Steam with me. I have an account on Steam. We could be friends on Steam.
He doesn't have any friends.
I could be a friend. Hold this. I'll be right back. Ask him for a wish list.
Chris said to Chris, you are goddamn right. You figure out which Chris said to which Chris. Barry, that's his handle. There's your channel name, and then there's a handle, and you can go in there and change it to the name that you chose for your channel, which we're trying to get everybody to do so we know who is who in these lives. Buff is it kind of, people come in and it's a completely different name. He doesn't know who they are, and he has to take time to figure out. John said the same thing. John Wilburn said the same thing. It's just if everybody puts their handle, what their channel name is, or close to it, then we know who is who. Chris says, I'm my son's friend on Steam. Have never played a game with him. Do you play the same games, Chris? So, Dr. Spec, is there anything that you need? You don't play the same games as your son, Chris? A lot of the games for the young people, they're made for people that have faster hands. My hands just can't do it. Just definitely cannot do it. Chris says, if I tried to play the fighting games he plays, I'd 100% get my ass kicked. Well, sure, but you'd have fun. And he can laugh at you.
What?
Chris in New York says, if I tried to play the fighting games that his son plays, I'd 100% get my ass kicked.
Oh.
Well, that's true. But you still have a lot of fun getting your ass kicked.
Well.
So what you're saying, Dr. Spec, is you want a Steam gift card? Was that you're goddamn right?
How come I don't have how come I don't have you on Steam? Send me a friend's request.
How's he gonna find you?
By my name.
What name is in there?
Also no like.
Barracuda says, I've got fast hands in the right situation. Yeah. Take the right pills. Get motivated. Yeah. Mark says, I stopped playing when the massive multiplayer game started. Fox Stangs. Yeah, there's quite a lot of them here, Dean. We'll get you the nicest one. We'll get you the nicest blue one. The bright blue one. See, this is not affecting this. When you move, this is going all over the place. This is a carry-all, but it's not in great condition, and he wants quite a bit of money for the condition it's in. So the advantage is you can redo the whole interior how you like it. Mopar K says, LOL, my son likes Marvel Rivals. Is that a game?
Yes.
Oh, I wouldn't know. Mark says, now I play Left 4 Dead in single player in God mode. So that means you're the God? So you can do anything you want? Kay says, what happened to Mortal Kombat?
It's still out there.
It got old.
No, they still make new games. A new game just came out 2 years ago.
Dean says, I've not seen a Mexican Spec staying I don't like. Well, Dean, I think I should get you the one that Buff likes, and you can give him a ride at No Name Nationals next year, because he really fell in love with that car. Chris, I tried playing online game with others when I first got on Steam. Don't like getting smurfed all the time, so I only play solo games.
Fair.
What's smurfed?
It's kind of like bullied.
Oh. Kay says, I named my son Raiden from Mortal Kombat. Does he know that, Kay? And does all of his friends at school know that? Olive says, looks promising, the white carryall. I like the 3-door versions. There's quite a few of the bullnose carryalls here for decent prices, but they all need work. Mark says, I don't die. But dying is the fun part.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Spec says, I'm fine, I don't really need anything.
That's not the point.
It's Christmas. I'm not going to give you an empty box like I did all those years ago. Okay, are y'all coming to No Name next year? Okay, don't tell John this, but I don't think I am. He really wants me to go. I'm going to let him go with that. Hope he's not listening here. Dean, hope so, Mopar. Okay. Mopar K. Yes, he knows, and I don't know if they know. Mark to Chris. Dolphin diving really pissed me off. Now they're just putting words together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's okay. It's really far.
Now you know how I feel.
Well, you talk about video games. I know absolutely nothing about video games. Hey, you guys look at this B200 that I posted. One owner truck, very low miles, always been in the same city. Gorgeous inside and out. Gorgeous. This is how it was ordered, the 2-tone, the extra chrome on the outside. Mexican 302 with the 4-speed manual, but not the truck transmission. You see the gear shift lever is different?
Mm-hmm.
It's the regular car transmission in this thing, so there's no granny gear. So you can drive it better on the highway. But it's got a Bronco rear end on it.
But isn't the granny gear useful?
Not in these things. I don't think so.
Okay, says that's okay. Really far. It's really far. Barry says my son likes things that I've approved and it's as appropriate for his consumption. Ripple is appropriate. It's really fun. You should try. You should give Ripple a try. Olive says, I think smurfing in games is when players with higher level characters and stuff do PvP to grind experience points by mowing down enemies. I guess. Smurf taken out immediately.
Why did they call it smurfed? Does it turn you blue?
No. Call it camping, literally. Chris says to Olive, that's exactly what it is. Olive says, is that blue in there though? Dean says, font. I don't know what that is. Olive says, for which vehicle is that? Is what?
Are you talking about the Volkswagen van?
Why are the seats outside?
The Kombi, because they were recently redone, but I don't like the fact I didn't publish this one because I talked to the guy, and it was a white van. It has got an orange or red floor or whatever, but they only painted the blue on the outside. So when you open the door, in the front it's white, and back here it's red. I don't know why. Maybe they replaced the whole floor. I don't know, but it's like 140,000 pesos, and I can see future problems with it.
Yeah.
So I didn't even post this one.
Barry says like reruns of Mannix. Olive says morphing used to mean bullying a bunch of cold medicine in smaller bits to make meth. Smurfing used to mean buying a bunch of cold medicine in smaller bits to make meth. Because Smurfs are little cartoons characters that gather things.
Oh, okay. See, the owner of this truck, I said, how many kilometers are on it? And he said, 430,000. I said, can you send me a picture of the odometer? He sends me that picture that you just saw, completely clouded over, can't see. I know these things have 5-digit odometers. So when he says it's 430, it's actually 43,000 with the tenths on there. So then I asked him to get me the real how much it was, and it was like 40 whatever thousand. But I don't know how many times it's spun over. And don't ask me why on some Volkswagen vehicles they had the 6-digit like the Caribes, but on this they put 5 digits, just like on the Beetles. Just there was room there. And when you have kilometers, there's a whole lot more than there are miles that clock up. They clock up faster. So they should have had the 6 digits. You can tell on the Fords, like the Fairmonts, they kept the same space as the 5-digit, but they put 6 digits in there and they made the numbers really, really thin. So you got 6 digits in there, but they're really, really thin numbers. It looks really weird.
Chris says nice transporter.
From a distance, yes, Chris, but I didn't publish this one because I can just see problems with it. Well, no, this one I did publish. The last one I didn't, and they're both blue with white.
Dean is singing, and I know that song. You know that song?
Not really.
It's from the Smurfs.
Oh. That's also been in many other songs.
Barry says Lolita song, Dean. I don't know what that is.
This one is a nice van, even though the seats are covered in casino carpet.
Olive says, I wanted a combi. The interior color wouldn't be a problem though. If I wanted a combi, the interior color wouldn't be a problem though.
Yeah, but yet that other one that I was talking about, what has that van been through? You have when people didn't usually buy the vans for family vehicles, they were delivery vehicles, they were whatever. Obviously, the guy took a completely white van that was probably used for a company and painted the blue to make it look like a passenger van and got all the new seats and everything to put in there. But what condition is the engine, transmission, drivetrain, everything in? Because with the radiator in the front and the engine in the back, that is a long uh, pipe or whatever going front to back. And if that's not in good condition and it blows, what are you going to do? I don't even know how that gets fixed.
That says down here it became mandatory to add the sixth digit in 1975.
Really? Well, nothing was overregulated here, so people did whatever they wanted to.
Dean says that's a phrase more fitting to say Barracuda. Chris says Smurfmobile.
Little bit different color, right, than the Smurfs.
Mm-hmm. Dean says Smurf along with me. Kay says, "Oh, I have a question about safely working on cars. Hydraulic ramp. Any thoughts? Because I haven't seen many use them."
Hydraulic ramp to put cars up, to lift cars.
Oh. Okay. Olive says also blue. Mark says casino carpet. LMAO. Olive says
Mark, I lived in Vegas for 10 years. Believe me, that's casino carpet.
Olive says Mexican Spec. It's all about mechanicals and stuff. Yeah.
Right, because the thing was used. I mean, heavily used. You couldn't even see the odometer through the faded plastic, so that it gives you an idea how the vehicle was taken care of. Putting some blue paint on the outside, and if it was a white van, why does it have a red floor? Did they take that out? Did they cut that out of another one and put it in this one? There were just too many red flags with this one for me to even bother with it. I don't want to represent a vehicle like that.
This is Mexican Spec is all about the mechanical stuff. Lester says so. Mine has a 6 narrow digit.
I don't think so, Lester. I think yours still has the 5, but cars like the Tempo, cars like that, the later ones in the 80s, I think I've seen the really thin 6 digits in the same space that they put the 5 digits in the U.S. But you can go look at it. I'm not sure.
Okay, it says hydraulic service car round. Chris says Vanagon has the same issue. Aftermarket sells stainless steel hard coolant lines for them.
Vanagon.
Mm-hmm. Olive says, though I think they could spare some paint for the engine compartment and edge, though probably not a great paint job.
None of these people paint the engine compartment because they don't take the engine out, even though it takes 20 minutes to get the engine out.
Does it?
Yeah.
Kevin says, I recall freezing my butt off on the back of a Volkswagen bus. Heater sucked.
Heater? They don't have any heaters here.
Mark says, oh, I believe you, Max. Davo says, shame they didn't add more accessories to that Beetle.
Beetle,
sorry.
Well, you could put a luggage rack over the front windshield and look at the license plate on this car. Sucks.
Red sucks?
You do not want to buy a car if it says sucks on the license plate. My friend bought a Hyundai Santa Fe in Jalisco. The plate he got was JNK. I mean, they're telling you from day one it's junk. Don't argue with them.
Olive says, especially since it's hard to see flaws online, even if you aren't filming off a monitor.
Yeah, that's when when I look at something, I get a feel about it. That one, and especially after talking to the guy, I didn't get a good feeling about it. So I published the other blue one that came after it instead of that one.
Barracuda says, I'm talking about the Sue Lyon and James Mason. Chris says, I hate it when people put all that aftermarket crap on a Beetle.
Somebody told me, I don't know, was it one of you guys that told me that design, the design that was on the side of that red Beetle with the white is what they did in Australia on the Beetles. So maybe they took it from there and put it on this one. I think that's a nice looking car.
Chris says, no wait. Kay says, lol, I wish I could put a photo of it there, of it here. Olive says, oh hi Kay, I didn't see you. Okay, it says if no one's even heard of a service ramps coming hydraulic, I ain't buying one.
Well, what does it do? Does it go underneath the car and lift up the whole car?
Dean says, sure I do. It's a Ford Fox. Ford sucks.
Is it a Ford or a Volkswagen?
But it says, saying Ford sucks is being repetitive. Sabo says, we had a Mazda 808 SUX 691.
Yeah, but if it's on your license plate, the government is telling you your car sucks.
Buffalo Campos says, okay, send the picture to my email. We will be live at 9 p.m. tonight.
Yeah, he can show it on there. Okay.
Lester says, I just looked. It has 5 mileage digits plus tenths.
Yeah, so they didn't get to it in the Fairmonts then. Maybe they did in the 83s.
Mark says, fake Tahoe. Oh, my head.
It's called a Silverado here.
Okay, it says, it's a ramp you drive 2 tires on as it sits on the ground. And there are lifts on the ramp that lifts just the tires.
I don't think I've seen one of those. But Kevin, no, it's not Eastern Standard Time. He's in Central.
Central, yeah. Sí, we will live at 9 Central Time.
Okay. Mark, they called that Tahoe a Silverado here, and it's a '96 model. All 2-wheel drives here. They didn't sell any 4-wheel drives here, but they are nice trucks to drive.
Mark says, I noticed the Chevy emblem on the grill looks like it's covering the GMC logo.
It is. That is the GMC front end. That's the way it came from the factory, and then it has that big rectangular thing over the GMC letters that has the bow tie on it. That's how they sold them here.
Did it stop? I think it stopped.
Yeah, it stopped. Not yet. This Beetle is called 21 million. They brought out this model when they got to 21 million made of Beetles, and this was a commemorative version. It has a few special things on it. You know how Volkswagen like to make all kinds of special models. This is one of them. Yeah. We're over 2 hours already?
Yeah.
Yeah. What time are you leaving?
A las 7.
Okay.
Kevin says, I will be there if the warden says okay. Mark says,
Kevin, if you don't ask her, you don't have to get her okay.
Rude. Chris says, bumpers look old.
Odd.
No, old? It's old.
You mean on this first one, Chris?
Maybe
this is a 2000 model, believe it or not. But that was 26 years ago. So.
Kevin says, kind of miss the sound of the Beetle.
I hear it all the time. They're all over the place here. And I've got one in front of my house. Has the same engine. It's just in a front-wheel drive vehicle. And it's very weird.
Chris says, on the 21st million bug.
On the 21 million bug.
21.
Yeah. Well, it probably was rusted or whatever. They put the black tape over these bumpers so there's less room for it to rust, because the chrome is so thin it rusts right through all the time.
Dean says Volkswagen Gold. Chris says to Kevin, come on over and I'll fire up my 68. Barry says warden meaning trouble and strife, also known as the Führer. Kevin says used to be all the time here.
Yeah, Beetles used to be all over the place, and they still are here. There's a really nice red one on the street behind us. He parks it there. And two little cul-de-sacs over. The guy's got 2 or 3 of them in front of the house, but they're in pretty bad condition. And then over to the other side, the guy's got a really nice green one. It's probably 96, 97 because it has color-coded bumpers and all that stuff that goes with the car. We tried to buy it, but the guy doesn't want to sell it. But he doesn't do anything with it either. It just sits in his one? Yeah, the green one. It just sits in his
garage.
I don't know if you would call it a garage.
Carport.
It's a carport with metal bars on the outside. Yes, Mark, they do. And unfortunately, I have one in front of the house.
Mrs. Brown? Who's Mrs. Brown?
You don't want to know.
Beatles sound very close to the Jetsonmobile. Barry says, I am Joe's spleen. I'm Joe's heart. What are you guys talking about? Chris says, the familiar Beatles sound is due to the small pea shooter exhaust pipes.
Yep. The Omega only has one pipe that comes out to the driver's side because the fuel inlet is to the right side. So it doesn't sound quite like the Beetle because it's only got one exhaust pipe out there. What? So are we done here? Dr. Spec, your stepmother is asking for a wish list, so make one.
Don't call me a stepmother.
Why not?
I don't like the word.
You're not the babysitter anymore.
Don't call me that either.
Oh, you're not.
They're going to give them ideas that are not true.
That wasn't over here, Dean.
My stepmom's an alien?
That was a movie.
Okay. I mean, it's not denied yet. Anyway.
She's not an evil stepmother, just a stepmother.
Yes.
Officially.
Yes.
Yes. So, guys, it's after 2 hours. Mrs. Mexican Spag has to do some things before she takes off to a birthday party. One of her friends was born on Halloween, so they're having the party now instead of next week. Which next week we're taking off to deliver to the Omega. We'll probably go live on the road. I'm not sure at what time because we're going to leave here at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then probably the same part of the desert that we're. I mean, you're not going to know the difference because all the desert looks the same out there, but we'll go live and see where we are out there. I'm going to be driving my Durango, towing a trailer with this thing up on the trailer. So it should be a pretty fun trip, and finally get to deliver this thing. But next week, because I tried to wash it, my garden hose split in 2 places. So now I'm waiting for a new garden hose to show up. I just keep having these things that I need to something's supposed to show up today. Some bungee cords that I need, that the truck needs. But I got to do a whole bunch of cleaning and scrubbing, and I'm going to put some wax on the paint so it can be protected, and get it ready for delivery, and then on to the next one. No bus trip home, Buff. I get to drive my truck back, but I am driving straight back. So we're gonna get here in the middle of the night.
We're gonna leave really early then because I don't.
No, that depends when they show up to pick up the vehicle. Well, we don't have a choice. I do have better headlights this time.
Chris says, "Doctor is your friend."
No, I can't do that.
Dean says, "Holman garden hose makes me sick."
I have one coming. I ordered it on Mercado Libre, and it'll be here today. It'll be here in a couple of days. I'm waiting for the other stuff to show up today.
Kevin says, "Happy birthday to my dog Cooper, 15 years old today." Wow, 15 years!
Happy birthday, Cooper.
Says,
we never know when our dogs' birthdays are because they all are strays.
Yes, we give some of their birthdays, some of them. Olive says there are garden hose repair junctions, but if it's already split twice, it'll probably split more.
Olive, I've tried repairing it 2 different ways, and because of the water pump that we put in, that is pushing a whole lot of pressure, nothing holds. So I just decided to go with a brand new hose. It's a 4-ply hose. It's gonna be really strong, and I'm gonna need that to be able to wash the truck out there. So that should be here in a day or two, something like that. And then I'll get to doing that, and then cleaning up. I was watching a detailed video today. Got to clean the interior. I got to clean the wood bed, and it's a stake bed type thing. So I got to clean all of the wood, all of the bed out. And then next week we'll be on the road. Next weekend we'll be on the road. We're leaving 4 o'clock Sunday morning. Be driving all day Sunday. So we're going to be live on a Sunday. And
hey Jay, Jay's at a wedding. Catch the bouquet.
Catch the garter. Oh, you're not allowed to because you're already married. Oh, that's terrible, Kevin. Your son-in-law passed away at 26. Shotgun wedding? Yeah, so I'm finally going to get to deliver this thing. The customer's been waiting for a long time because there was a whole lot of repairs. The engine came out of it once. Then we put it back in, and then he did a valve adjustment. The carburetor's been rebuilt twice. The starter has been out of it 4 or 5 times. The first one came out, parts were put in it, put it back in, and immediately burned up those parts. So I ordered a starter online, which I hate doing, but I ordered a starter online. Put it in, the Bendix was bad on that one. Took that one out, sent it back, ordered another one, put that one in, it works. Had to replace the battery because the other battery was only 60% life left, and we can't take a chance of our customer not being able to start it quickly and when he's in line trying to cross it and everything. So yeah, I think we're ready mechanically, even after a lot of the work. And I hopefully he will enjoy it. Don't tell him this, but I do not like driving it. And I'm really scared to drive it up onto the trailer.
So because he doesn't like to drive Ormigas, you guys have to buy Ormigas from him to make him drive it more.
Yeah, great, thanks.
Yeah.
This is kind of like driving the Volkswagen van. You're sitting in front of the wheels and this huge steering wheel in front of you, and I don't know, it's just a really odd situation in this vehicle. So I'm going to try to make it less odd for the client as far as the driver's window is concerned and other stuff. But I think we're ready to go as far as adjustments and mechanical and everything else. So, okay, we're going to say goodbye to everybody, and we will see you soon. I'll see you later. See you guys later on Bus Live because Mrs. Spec will not be here. I've got nothing else to do. I'm not going to go outside and burn stuff myself.
Not like me being here will stop you from being in any live.
No, but still, we could be outside burning some stuff. We got to get rid of all that stuff before it rains again.
Okay.
But we will see all you guys soon. We'll probably we will be able to be live next Saturday unless I'm still working on the vehicle.
Yeah.
And then right after the live, I want to go to sleep because I do not. No, I have to pick up the trailer.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm going to figure out the schedule. I do not want to be tired on that trip. Definitely do not want to be tired. I've done that before, and I started hallucinating, and because there's just nothing but desert and heat. And no, I do not want to do that again. So we will see all you guys soon. Thank you for everybody for coming. We all enjoyed it.
Thank you for being with us.
Shown a lot of nice cars. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye, guys.